We're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Screens of the Sun, the Changing Breeds Chronicle we are running here on Final Show Films. We are Julia, Sally, and King of the Zodiac System, and we are your storytellers for the evening. I'm joined by a wonderful cast of fantastic role players, and they let me mentally and emotionally abuse them every so often. We like to film it on, put it on the internet for all of you to enjoy. So we will start our introductions today with yes, but is there a funnier option? Jeremy.
There's always a funnier option. Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Crystal Arias, who is a Hamid Nuisha.
Soon to be free from her daily nightmare, Katie.
7 days. Hi, my name is Katie. I play Carrie Nichols, who is a Hamid Korak's Hermetic Order of Swift Light.
Voted most likely to make a pact with Warlock patron, Drevian.
I'm Drevian. I'm playing Connor McLaughlin, a Coelacanth Bastet.
I am an experienced William Rashani.
I absolutely am, and I also need to point out that Katie, you just delivered a ring prophecy to
I did.
everyone who was watching.
7 days of
7
school.
days.
Listen,
Hi.
at this point, I would welcome a girl crawling out of the well. Like, that would be the least troubling part of my day.
I mean, if a girl crawls out of my TV screen, I'd be like, "Hey, you need a drink?" I don't fucking what.
Like, sit down and be quiet.
Anyway, hi, I am William Orshani, and I am playing Callisto Osborne, the Hamid Uzmati Gural of the Mountain Guardians. Problem is, Gural, every time it starts with a G, I try and say get a Fenris, because it's what I'm used to.
Also, does Samara need a drink or does she need a towel?
Both?
Look, listen, if she stays in her seat and isn't trying to cause trouble, then she's better than most of my kids.
Well, as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights, and the following are some good news stories that I wanted to share with you all from the last couple of weeks to hopefully bring a smile to your faces. A new technique that uses sound waves to separate materials for recycling could help prevent potentially harmful chemicals leaching into the environment. Researchers at the University of Leicester, England, I think it's Leicester, isn't it? England
Leicester,
has achieved a major milestone in fuel cell recycling, developing a technique to efficiently separate valuable catalyst materials from the fluorinated polymer membranes, often referred to as forever chemicals. The new method addresses critical environmental changes posed by PFAS, which are known to contaminate drinking water and have serious health implications. A team of archaeologists has found the burial site of an elite woman in Aspero, an ancient fishing city of the Kural civilization from between 3000 and 1800 BCE, located in the province of Barranca near Lima. Lima's in Ohio. She was between 20 and 35 years old when she died and was entombed inside the building known as the Huaca de los Idalos. I know my Spanish accent sucks. One of three that sit atop a raised mound at the heart of the settlement. According to the statement from the Ministry of the Culture of Peru, the woman was buried with objects that suggest an elite status. The body was wrapped in various materials such as cotton fabrics, reed mats, and a panel embroidered with macaw feathers, delicately arranged in a net, and one of the oldest examples of feather art in the Andes. On top of her head, they placed a headdress of fibers with bundles of wound threads, which was preserved along with her hair and skin, offering the archaeologists the outline and ornament of a face not seen for 4,500 years.
Wow.
You know
All right,
how
so the next mummy game.
Do you know how hard I had to myself to keep from making a Glee joke when you said Lima, Ohio?
Yeah, I know. Why did it have to be Glee? Of all the series that could have been, you know what, never mind.
Something, fuck Leah Michelle. Something.
Yeah. 100%. If you happen to be on a ramble in southern Britain next year, you may see a solitary orangish bee flitting between rising flowers as early as late February. Such days used to be too cold for Osmia cornuta, known as the European orchard bee, a regular pollinator in orchards on the mainland. However, rising global temperatures have allowed this powerhouse pollinator to find the English meadows fit for the purpose. Though not a honeybee, it is utilized as a commercial pollinator and deployed in almond, cherry, and apple orchards. A solitary species, the orchard bee lays a single egg in a nest dug into rotting wood. Inside, it will stash pollen for the baby bee to eat and then seal up the hole to protect it. So, yay, a silver lining to global warming. The
Bees.
planet is adapting.
I don't think the presence of lone bees is enough of a silver lining.
No, it's not. But maybe not silver lining, but like silver, like 6 inches around the topic.
Silver sliver.
But anyway, previously, our menagerie began their interrogation of the enigmatic Dr. Bright. After a few questions, the proceedings were interrupted as an unfamiliar red and white crinoform Corax with 3 eyes entered through a tear in the gauntlet. A small fight that ended with a wounded dancing cackle and a very confused and prone Clover being revealed as the assailant. There was a small flashback where we got to see Clover's trip through the deep umbra to meet her father, the eldritch creature known simply as the Three-Eyed Raven. She learned that he was the one who, Brain. She learned that she was the one who called the Three-Eyed Raven asking for guidance originally. This is when he changed her into a Krynos ultimately. And meanwhile, back in the present, the menagerie learned the purpose of Dr. Bright's research and learned the names of those in charge of the projects at Endron. Dr. Bright revealed that the Nuisha taken from his experiments was Dances Under the Moon, a Nuisha that Crystal was familiar with. Understandably hurt by this, she shot Dr. Bright in the leg and took leave.
Angry. Angry was the right word.
Dr. Bright received some medical care and further questioning continued. But our camera shifted focus as we come to Crystal having driven back into Sacramento to Donovan Knisley's apartment, where she has slipped through the umbra and back into the real and has just stepped out of his bathroom in front of him in full Manaboja form.
Blowing off the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kicked the door off its hinges and just stepped out.
Yep. Deep gravelly voice. Oh, Donnie, you fucked up.
You don't incite delirium, do you?
No, I do
I
not.
think delirium.
Lesser delirium.
Lesser delirium. Okay.
It's
+2
delirium
+2
as if their
willpower.
willpower was too higher than normal.
Yes.
Okay.
Which I forget what page the delirium effects are on.
Backshard 263.
Okay.
Yeah. So whatever his so yeah, on 263 in the book, 265 in the PDF. Whatever his willpower is, add two to
add
it
two
to
that.
determine what his reaction is to delirium.
Okay. There is the purest flash of terror on his face, but it takes him a second before he moves. Which roll wits and empathy difficulty, we'll go 5.
Okay. Where's my dice? Where's my dice? Where's my dice? Let's see. With sympathy. A diff 5. 2 successes.
2 successes. That brief moment, that pause that he didn't immediately turn as soon as his eyes registered what he was seeing, that's somebody who's in control of their thought patterns.
All right.
He's terrified, but he is not in the pure frenzy, like terrified frenzy, flee, forget everything.
Wait,
Well, unfortunately for him, he did pause.
weren't you in the near man form? Because you weren't sure if the full Krynos form would fit through the door?
You're correct.
That is
You are
correct.
correct.
And near man
Yep.
usually doesn't cause delirium.
Well, no,
You
actually,
actually
it
are-
usually. Oh yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't.
No, no. It for Guru, it's Hispo and Krynos. And I only think it's Manabojo for
Okay. Okay, never
Um,
mind then. Yeah, clear. I mean, still clearly terrified.
okay, cool.
just not
Uh,
supernaturally terrified.
Yeah, I'm going to I'm going to grab him by the hair, and he has a forehead. I see a wall. They want to say hello.
Yeah, give me Dex and Brawl. Difficulty 6.
We're
You're
not
in,
shooting this man.
You're in Sitsu form. That is the one.
Yes, correct. Dex, bro. Let me see if there's. Let's grapple will work. 3 successes.
Yep, you have
Strength plus 2.
yep,
would
strength
it be?
plus 2
Okay.
for damage.
That's 2 bashing. It's fine. This
Yeah,
can
I'm-
take a while. I'm okay with that.
Yep. Yeah, he's a human, so he can't soak.
Yep.
Well, you can try and soak.
No, you
bash.
can soak bashing. You can soak bashing
Oh,
damage.
okay.
You
Uh,
bashing damage is just a punch to the face, essentially.
Yeah,
That's
bash,
not done
bashing
right.
damage. Everyone can soak.
Yes.
No,
It's
not
just
this
only
guy.
only supernaturals can soak lethal and above.
Yep.
Without armor.
So he takes 2 bashing damage.
All right.
There's a
Yep.
pained
I
scream.
drop him to the ground. Stand over him. I'm going to give him a second to react. And I just say, don't run. You don't want to die tired.
He just sort of scoots himself to the other side of the hallway and puts his hands against the wall.
Donnie, what am I going to do with you? You've been a naughty boy.
I just can't say I have the foggiest idea who you are.
Really, you don't see anything remotely feeling. I know it looks like I've been working out. I've gotten fairly swole and taller.
Crystal?
Uh-huh.
What the fuck?
I need to talk to you about some emails you were CC'd on and are an active participant in from your company. You have 2 kneecaps and 2 elbows. This is your head. That's how many lies you get. Don't waste one on
What-
this.
What all do you need to know?
I need to know everything. Well, no, you know what? Let's start with I look around. Does he have a computer in this in his in his place?
Yes, yeah. He has a laptop.
Does that have access to your company records?
Yes.
I need you to log in. Don't make me bring you to the laptop. Get up and walk. I know you can because I didn't break your kneecaps yet.
Stands up. I signed a lot of NDAs.
I don't give a fuck.
You know what?
They can take it up with my lawyer. Hold up, gun. This is my lawyer.
You know
His
what?
name
You're the
is
lady with
Harry.
the gun. That's 44 Magnum.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm gonna just go log in real quick.
He's very good at cutting through red tape.
He sits down at the computer,
All right.
types out the password.
Yep. All right. Scooch.
He stands up.
I go, oh, you apparently seem to be higher up in this company than you had implied, or at least you're involved in projects that are a lot higher up than you implied. Oh yeah, sorry, I should clue you in so you know exactly what information I'm coming in with. Your good Dr. Bright. I got full access to his phone.
Then you don't need any of my files.
Probably not, but it'll be good to have them. So I don't know how high up that necessarily makes you, but do I have to worry about like any of your people with guns hanging around the place?
No.
I'm gonna subterfuge with the. I'm gonna lie detect that.
Wits and empathy difficulty
Yep.
6.
All right.
I bet he's wishing that he did.
4 successes. Yeah, 4 successes.
Yeah, it's very much a that'd be great. That would be wonderful if anybody knew about what was going on right now. No, there is no one that is going to miraculously show up with a gun to help me.
All right. So I need you to tell me something. I sit down in front of the laptop, put my feet up on his coffee table. If I have everything I need from Dr. Bright, why do I need you? You didn't think that through, did you?
I guess I didn't.
Be very convincing.
Listen, you're in my home at 1 a.m. with a gun. I really
the
have no.
gun is the thing that has you worried right now?
And you know all of this shit. Yes, that is very devastating. I am not going to hide or lie about anything with you right now because you have the fucking 45 pointed at my head.
I take Harry. I open up the chamber, shake out all the bullets, put it down, put the bullets next to them.
Still not any easier.
Yeah, because the gun's not the thing you need to worry about.
Need to do a roll for him real quick.
And you put 2 and 2 together about why this person is a foot taller and way more built than they were last time you saw them.
Listen, he's not very bright.
No, we have Bright.
Yeah, Bright's over with us.
Is
Yeah.
Carrie one of you two?
Carrie is not as cool as me, unfortunately.
Oh, thank God.
Carrie's her own thing. But Carrie's not as cool as me. And I've been waiting for years to be able to say this. Donovan, you haven't even seen my final form yet.
Um,
Convince me that you have something of value to offer. Out of character, what story are we on?
second story.
Second story?
Yeah.
I spike him hard enough, it'll work.
You just got to do a wind up first.
Be very convincing.
I've I can get you money. I can get you I can get you real estate. I can
Do I look like a landowner?
listen, there are things that I can get you with my connections that you wouldn't set you up for life. Like, let me. This is doing nothing for you.
All I can think of
Right.
is like you take the land offer and you go back to Callisto and just get Callisto her own nature preserve. Like 10 times the
No,
land
whatever
Callisto's
he-
cabins on.
Whatever he offers is going to be some kind of fucking Pentex owned land that we managed to secure that is just worm ridden all to hell.
It's
Like-
okay. It's okay. You're
be
gonna
ocean
share this property with a couple of other people. You can visit it like a few weeks through the year.
The ocean side of Nebraska.
Yeah, he's the worst kind of human being, a timeshare salesman.
I was just
Uh,
going to shoot you. Now I have to go for no. See, here's the problem, Donnie.
I'm
Weirdly,
the only one taking care of a dying mother.
really, I will perception with empathy that.
Okay, difficulty 7. You don't know this guy.
Yep. Four successes.
He's not telling everything about that,
But it's
Like,
not
he's-
wrong.
but it's not entirely. He's not lying wholeheartedly.
He's omitting something, but he's not
Yeah.
lying. Yeah.
He's the reason he has to take care of a dying mother.
Is the kitchen like is this like a studio, or is the kitchen like a separate room?
The kitchen's a separate room.
Donnie, go get me a drink.
He, beer or liquor, or wine. You know what?
Yes.
I'm just gonna.
Just go get everything.
Yep.
I'm gonna let
scampers
him
off.
go. That'll stall him long enough so I can stand up and actually shift into Manabojo form. Perception or stamina, primal urge. Where is my shifting form roll? I know it's in here. Here we go. And it should
You're
be
at diff 7
six,
because you're in the
diff
half
7. Yeah. Okay, good enough.
One's all you need.
Yeah.
Wait for him to come out with a whole bunch of shit.
Yep. So he walks
Grab
back
him by
into
the
the room.
face.
He walks back in the room with like 2 bottles of beer, a bottle of whiskey and a bottle of red wine in the other hand.
Boom. She should have raised a better son. And I'm going to fling him through his back screen door over the balcony. If he survives this, he deserves to live.
Okay, just go ahead and give me yeah, is that
Grapple?
Yeah, grapple.
Okay.
Do you have
All
like,
that.
I don't remember what
I'll take
level
it.
this is. Do you have the fucking like defy physics fling?
No,
Not
I
yet.
don't think, So 2 successes. Okay, I might have to throw him a couple of times into the door. I'm not worried if
No.
I do.
Yep.
Whoomp! You can't even die right. Pick him up.
Oh, he's looking
Yep.
beat to shit. Yeah.
Hey, pick him up. Can you open the screen door for me? Never mind. I've got it. Walk out on the balcony. I don't care. If anybody's looking up here, they'll see something. It's dark. It's nighttime, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It's 1 a.m.
It's 1 a.m.
Yep.
And on top of that, you're in the form that causes delirium.
That's
And-
true. But still, it's a veil thing. And yeah, if I'm gonna see how far I can throw him. It's gonna be
Okay.
like playing darts, but
We'll
with
see
a
if-
human being.
Let me see if there are rules for throwing objects. I'm sure there are.
What are you doing? Try to give this bot a new game?
Oh, they don't need my help with that.
Human darts?
I mean, that's basically what their football is because they usually have disqualifications because they spiked the football.
As I say, that's darts. Yeah, that's football.
Now the thought comes to mind of Vlad Tep as a Sabat and his impaled people using as actual darts on a board.
Oh, Tepish wants nothing to do with the Sabat. I think he did at one point. But he's old clan Shamasei. They deal with the new clan. He doesn't like them.
Fair.
Okay, that describes a thrown weapon, but it doesn't tell me.
I know there's like a feat of strength,
Yeah,
which at least shows how much you can lift, and that will
yeah.
Like-
We'll go off that.
however, my acrobat is. There we go. There we go. It's under under like sample roles or something like that. Dramatic systems, I think. Strength. Yes, here we go. So my strength is currently
Strength and athletics.
okay.
Difficulty 6.
Because it's funny, I am putting a willpower into this.
Okay.
You said diff 6?
Yep.
That's a horrifying gift.
That's only 2 successes. His foot caught on the railing, motherfucker.
I don't know if that's good for him because if his foot caught on the railing, he's gonna corkscrew on his way down.
So I'm gonna say he doesn't hit the railing on the initial throw. What he does hit is the semi that's driving through the neighborhood.
Fuck. Just throw him off. He doesn't make it to the ground because he gets caught by a truck on the way down.
I just look down.
He's getting isekai'd?
Wait, is this a garbage truck?
Semi.
Oh,
Semi.
Oh, Jesus.
I just look down like, well, that's a disqualification. That's not fair. I turn around as I shut the screen door, walk back in. I'm shifting my way back. I'm auto shifting back to Hamid.
Okay.
I'm grabbing the laptop. Making sure that it is staying powered on because it has the login information already put in for me.
Yep.
Let me see what else. I'm grabbing one of those liquor bottles.
Grab the charger.
Grab the charger. Find his phone. Grab his phone.
Mm-hmm.
I am taking the other liquor bottles.
Mm-hmm.
I am spreading them around the apartment. I am lighting a match. I am setting the apartment on fire, walking out, hitting the fire hitting the fire alarm on the way out, and casually whistling, making my way back or out of the apartment building.
Okay.
I don't know what nonsense he has in here that might be valuable. Also covering Drax.
I have to know what you are casually whistling as you are leaving that apartment after setting it on fire.
A Twisted Nerve from Kill Bill.
I approve of this.
You asked
Says-
what was being whistled, and my immediate thought was we didn't start the fire.
Okay, that would be funny, but I did not think of that.
So, do you slip back across the gauntlet at any point, or do you just casually walk up?
I
walk
have
out
shit that I
and-
need to carry out. I
Okay.
can't. Otherwise I would have just walked across the
Right.
gauntlet. Yep.
Okay.
Why
Says
Spider
you-
To be fair,
Senses are important.
I am going to pull the first floor fire alarm.
Okay.
So that way I can just walk right out
Yep.
and like nobody running out of their apartment sees
Person casually
Yep.
not running.
make my way.
That
car.
semi is stopped about half a block from where something made contact with it.
Uh-huh. I don't even
But you're going the other way.
hesitate. Yep.
Sorry, Kakarot, you lost your match with Tien.
I head back to the car through Tone Speak. On my way back,
Harry chimes in. From where?
And our camera shifts.
I say, meanwhile, it's a lot of time has
Meanwhile.
passed since then.
Yes, as about an hour and some change has passed at this point. You are able to get to Sacramento a lot quicker after midnight.
for sure, but still.
But back in Callisto's cabin, you all are still questioning Dr. Bright.
Yeah. I forget what my last line of questioning was.
Yeah.
I can figure this out really quickly.
I think the last thing we found out was that a bunch of them were armed with silver.
Yes, right.
Yes. All of the Endron employees that were given guns are armed with silver bullets.
Oh no, whatever shall we do?
So the over
Uh,
totem found it's like how many Endron security are there, and how many silver bullets are they allotted,
I was like,
or do they carry?
So yeah, Callisto will. All right. So follow up on that one. How many people in Endron have been issued guns, and how many silver bullets do they get allotted?
So far as I'm aware, it's every security guard, which there's about 50 on staff, I believe. And they're all given at least one magazine.
Get the special mag for the big boys coming around. All right. Explain to me. You're fucking Pentex. Of course you have sources. Where do you get that much ammunition without drawing attention?
Purchased from third-hand suppliers with cash-only deals.
It's a lot of bullets to get off the gray markets.
Is. I don't think a hunter this side of Nevada, at least, has silver bullets to their name.
Really?
Oh, yes, I'm aware of those too.
Don't act smug. That's not helping your odds of survival.
Again, I already
Great
believe
chicken.
I'm not going to survive this.
And I keep telling you, whether you live or not depends on how helpful you are, and that's ultimately up to our lovely elderly madam's estimation here. She says he looks back at Mother Webb.
How was
How's he doing so far?
Honestly,
Yes, Callisto looks over at Mother Webb. How's he doing so far, in your estimation?
We'll let him run.
So you could do better.
All right.
Again, overturn info. How many of those security guards actually have the fortitude to go up against changers?
Over totem phone, they don't fucking know that. Like,
In estimation.
I'm sure, like every human that thinks he can take on a gorilla, all of them think they have it.
Yes, but the doctor has seen the monsters.
Yeah. That's a good question, actually. All right, so how well have you studied the, we'll call them psychosis-inducing effects of being in the presence of a shape changer in war form?
I'm before he continues talking, I am going to do the Truth of Gaia again.
Okay.
And it's difficulty 8.
Yep.
All right. It's
Uh,
I do not have a specialty to make that Tana.
Yep. No
Right,
successes.
it costs a gnosis to spend, doesn't it?
No.
No? Yeah, I think you just try again. Until you botch.
I mean, if I can try again, I'll try again.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a success.
Yeah, the question was, how well have you studied delirium, basically? She worded it differently, but...
I am very well versed in the effects, and there's actually a number of antipsychotics are currently in development to prevent people from going into that state.
Based on your assessment of the mental fortitude required to remain active during that state, how many of those guards do you think could actually stand up well enough to use those silver bullets?
5, if that.
So really, they're just there to make him feel better.
So
As most weapons are.
Do the security guards have access to any of those antipsychotic drugs?
I was gonna say, any of those drugs actually in the hands of any of those guards?
No, they're still in animal testing phases, unfortunately.
So
Look at the cat. How accurate was that?
100%.
Cool.
So the cat remains seated.
so you're going. Let me see if I'm following. So you arm these 50 or so guards with silver bullets, no psychotics, and maybe you would guess that 5 of them out of 50 have the fortitude to go up against shifters.
I mean, they're normal humans.
I was about
And-
to say humans with the wherewithal to stay active when a shifter goes into the war form are hard to find.
There's a very low percentage of the population that can endure the psychological effects of seeing one of your kind take a new form.
Because this might be something that Connor actually knows, but meta knowledge, it's about 7% of the population that doesn't just immediately blank. So they've apparently have a higher selection of security guards than
So
the general populace.
I mean, they can select for the best they can find, basically.
Yeah.
and this might be a player question, I don't know, and not a carry question, but how would they know that? How would they know if that person would or would not go into delirium in this state before a shifter? Is that something they would have to test?
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to ask that question then. So what is your test?
It's quite simple, really. We had a black spiral, I believe you called him.
Walk 'em by the big angry dog in the cell and see if they freak the fuck out.
Exactly.
I mean, as tests go, that's certainly
Straightforward.
straightforward, and we'll give you the answer you're looking for.
So, and maybe this question has already been answered. If it has, that's Katie's fault and not Carrie's. You seem to be operating on a pretty steep timeline for all this science. As I understand, I mean, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor. But as far as I know from my schooling, the testing and research and experimental phases take up quite a number of years. So you seem to be moving pretty fast on this Unleashing the Beast project. Doesn't that give way to sloppy science?
Were I able to study this in a completely unlimited capacity, this would be something I would probably undertake my entire life with. But unfortunately, because I'm being pushed by Endron and Pentex to provide results, the number of tests I am allowed to do have been greatly diminished,
So
leading to skewed results, giving them what they wanted.
they're looking for skewed results.
They are looking for results, period. How they get them is completely negligible.
So how scientifically minded would you say would these people who are pushing for this project, these upper level executives, let's say, how scientifically minded are they? Be honest.
Not very.
Okay, so and I have a feeling I already know the answer to this question, and it has to do with dollar signs. But I'm going to ask it anyway. So you, for all intents and purposes, let's just not in the fun way, role play a little bit here. Say that you're a by the book, very well educated, very honest and respectable scientist in your field. why go with such skewed science and people who won't allow you to run the test you want to run?
Because unfortunately, I know if I complain and try to leave employment, I will no longer.
I get that, but I'm talking about why in the first place.
Because originally that's not what they wanted. I was given a much longer timeline.
What made them speed it up?
Oh, simple. Donovan got the land grant a lot sooner than we thought.
Mm.
Mm.
So what? The land grant is like a gallon of milk and it had an expiration date on it? Why? I don't see the difference that makes.
No, it's just it's simple corporate greed on that end. They had access to the land. They wanted the answers now.
Mm.
An inability to wait. I don't know if you're familiar, but most CEOs are like children.
On that, we can agree.
Mm-hmm.
Every new toy must be opened and played with immediately, and unfortunately, that's not the way things work.
As you are on the unfortunate end of finding out.
Mm.
Oh, would I be able to simply give my life to end all of this? By all means.
Speaking of,
So if we had not had caught you, would you have changed your tune, or were you just going to collect your paycheck and let the world, blow up?
Have you had to play a part with somebody having a gun to your head?
a couple of times, yeah.
A little bit.
Then you might understand.
I get that, but here's also what I don't understand, and this is just philosophical on my part. Forgive me. But if it's all going to go to shit anyway, A, why do it for the money? And B, why worry about the gun at your head? Either way, you're not going to spend the money. Because either you're going to have a gun to your head or you're going to blow up with everything else.
I truly did back myself into a corner, yes.
I guess at that point you were just hoping that it wasn't as bad as we had always said it was.
Unfortunately, yes.
You're counting on ignorance.
All right. Here's the $1 million question. By which I mean how much ever you think your life is worth. Make your case for why you should live.
Y'all
Understand who
way
you're talking
nicer
to.
than me.
We are, as you might have guessed, defenders of Gaia, people who are here to protect this planet from literally this entire situation. So give us a very, very good argument of why.
No more talking. We kill this man now and we go fight Endron.
Who's
You in the
talking?
mountains, sit the fuck down for a minute. You've already had your chance to do your job right. Don't make me explain why that's a problem right now.
Dead men tell no tales. Let him speak.
I need a wits and empathy roll from everybody in the cabin, difficulty 6.
Oh no!
Can I spend a willpower on this?
That's a success.
No.
Okay. 3 successes anyways.
Okay. So everybody gets the 4 werewolves that are with him all look really confused by that statement.
What did
Except, no.
Oh.
You already had your chance to deal with this.
Yeah,
Connor,
we kind of blew up our deal, guys.
You see Blossoming Dancer and Thunder both do the math in their head. Thunder kind of already knew all of this, but actually had confirmation from someone. blossoming dancer looks like she's been completely sidelined, but
To be fair,
is-
Callisto's being very vague, but she is very much
yes, but that is
that is very much a I know you fucked up. Don't make me explain it.
mhm.
It's vague, but also we walked into a room with him in front of pretty much the entire sept, and then he walked out and changed his entire directive around. Like, it's not that they might not know
It's
the
not hard to
details.
put together. And
Right.
Callisto is very much saying, do not make me cross the line to actually laying it out.
He takes a step back.
Dr. Bright, make your case.
Over Totephone, at the very least, it's not just his call. If he wants to, he can stand equal with the other pair elders, but
Yeah.
Okay.
You stand as a warrior among equals at this moment. Do not diminish your position among us, he says, looking over at Demon the Mountain.
The good side of a lot of my research is that it will help conservationists if some of it is released. A lot of genetic material, like a few ways to fix some genetic abnormalities that arise within the species that we took data from, along with a number of leaps forward in the fields of antipsychotic medicines. I could take that research and leave. Pentex will always search for me, but I can make a new life. I've done it before. That's why I'm
Well,
here.
I've actually got a suggestion, given that it is occasionally my job to be the one thinking forward, on how you might be able to start a new life, forward our cause, and not be hunted down by Pentex. And she looks across the rest of the room. I put forward to our honored elders that this man is a skilled scientist and capable of advancing fields that could, as he says, forward the cause of Gaia if given assistance, funding, and support, and yes, oversight by our people instead of by Pentex. A scientist essentially doing good science for all of us, as opposed to the science that would forward the cause of Pentex, is a valuable asset, especially when watched over by our own to make sure they don't stray too far. And it is a waste of good scientific ability to simply end the man. I put that option forward to the elders, and I will see what all you think.
Connor, when Callisto starts talking, will hop off the doctor's lap, go around a corner, come back in human form, and also, like, make a similar case. That we could always use more bright minds in helping.
Over totem phone, Carrie's gonna ask the question. Are we talking about keeping him a human asset or a child of Gaia?
I mean, that might be theoretically worth arranging, but I don't know that anyone. I mean, Korax could make that choice, but I think that's for the elders to figure out.
Okay,
Um,
I'm just
About what point in my whole situation is this going on?
I'd say this is probably taken a bit because the doctor's response was not immediate.
Okay. So it's like right
Um,
about as Donnie gets splattered, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, all of a sudden I will speak up. Sorry, what are we talking about?
What to do with the doctor now that we're done with him?
Kill him.
There's a second option. I'm putting it to the elders.
Kill him.
I'm pretty certain that's what they're going to come down on anyway, but if they like the second option, I'm going to let them take it because they're the elders.
This man murdered people of my people to create an abomination of the worm. Kill him.
Yeah, Dancing Cackles heard that too, which is why I'm pretty certain it's not going to end well.
It's that may be Carrie trying to.
Right.
That may be very well what they decide, but it's out of our hands.
I'm not making that decision unilaterally in front of all of the elders.
That's fair. Let me know if they go stupid.
Callisto. Doc is talking.
Callisto looks over at Doc. I'm not going to advocate in either direction, but I wanted to put the question forward.
Would your menagerie and the good Dr. Wright give us the room for a moment?
Gladly. Come on, Doc.
Certainly.
He's paralyzed.
Yeah, so she'll look over at Mother Webb. With your permission, Mother.
She just pulls up her hand and goes like, she just wiggles her fingers into a fist and pulls. And like shattering like glass around him, he just sort of leans forward. The leg might still be a slight issue.
Come along with us.
Here, let me help. Callisto will offer an arm.
Okay. You will take it. And you all
as she is limping Dr. Bright out, she does spare a direct glance at Doom of the Mountain of like, remember where you are.
you close that door.
Connor immediately starts quizzing the doctor about the antipsychotics.
He will go into if he's given his if I have my phone, I have access to all of my files. I can show you some of the
I don't think we have
breakdowns.
I don't think we have the time at the moment to go that in depth. Also, your phone's not on the table, and we're not getting that back at the moment.
That is unfortunate.
So just
I also have a
enlighten me with
feeling
what
I
you
won't
know.
be given that back to begin with. Yeah, and he
if,
will.
if they decide to let you live, you're probably still not getting that phone back. Just because
Yeah, it's probably going to be wiped.
Absolutely
Confiscated.
understandable. Everybody can give me. How far away from the front door did y'all go?
She'll give a respectable distance.
Okay. Everybody can give me perception alertness difficulty 7 then.
3.
Can I give you intelligence medicine to go on about antipsychotics with the doctor?
Absolutely you can.
Yeah, no, that's
Triple
bad.
botch from Carrie.
God
Intelligence.
damn. How'd that happen?
Trip face down in mud.
Medicine.
So Carrie, you know how Callisto's cabin is out in the middle of the woods?
Mm-hmm.
There is a noise that you hear come from Callisto's house right as a mosquito goes into your ear canal.
So intelligence medicine,
so-
what difficulty?
6. So you take a second to get that out.
4 successes.
Callisto and Connor.
Connor's just talking medicine. He wasn't even rolling perception.
Fair. He will give you, and you're understanding pretty much all of it. He's giving you chemical breakdowns. how he synthesized a few compounds of already pre-existing psychotic medicines or antipsychotic medicines. How he's using extracts from older medicinal plants that were often used by the natives, because that's all spiritual journeys were a trip that was guided, and a number of different medications that have been spliced, or any number of different compounds that are made to develop different. He has 4 different prototypes he's currently testing, and each one to a different. They're all different. It's 2 pairs of different intensities, and both intensities are either extended or instant release. Extended release, you want more for, I'm going to give this to a group of soldiers who I'm going to send into a compound that is likely inhabited by werewolves. I don't need it immediately, but 15 minutes after I've taken it, it's going to be going through my system for the rest of the day. And the instant is within 2 minutes, I will have antipsychotics flowing through my blood and be fine.
I need to be able to eat this pill while under delirium.
Yes. Callisto, the noises from inside become very voluminous. A number of people have entered into screaming matches. And there are a few times you hear just sort of a large thud as you are guessing someone has shifted form, as either an intimidation tactic or a preferred way to communicate. You guys are waiting so long that Crystal pulls up.
Cool.
Yeah, so your menagerie is outside with Dr. Bright.
I'm gonna walk up. I'm holding the laptop open because I can't shut it because then it'll go to sleep. And I did not think through. Maybe I should get your password, so it's fine.
You're in the settings tab. You can turn off, you have it open. You can turn the password
That's
settings
true.
off.
I could do that. But still, I walk over and I hand it to Connor.
Where the hell
Connor.
have you been?
Connor immediately goes in and changes the power setting so it can be closed.
Dealing with
And
Donovan.
like,
Excuse me?
Sorry, should I say it in another language? Dealing with Donovan.
What does Donovan have to do with any of this?
It's a long story. He was complicit. He had a very unfortunate run-in with a semi.
Okay, second question. And this could go to, anybody that feels like answering it.
Mhm.
Why the fuck did nobody decide to tell me?
tell you what,
And in fairness, I didn't tell them either. Just waving
you-
generally around to the
Did
rest
you
of the
know about
menagerie.
this? She looks at Callisto. Did you know about this?
Callisto shrugs. I got a message from Crystal. Didn't.
Oh,
pay
that's
too much
right.
attention
Sorry,
to
I
it 'cause
did
we were
tell.
in the middle of interrogation.
Yes.
But
And
I was
Yeah.
also asked not to tell you, so
guys?
Y'all were busy. I
No,
wasn't.
no, 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 no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. You see, that's not gonna work here. Since when are we keeping people out of the loop? We are working together as a menagerie, as a team, and you are purposely keeping information from me?
Mhm.
Why?
You shouldn't have to make that decision.
You took away my decision.
I sure did.
So you're doing the very thing that you're trying to.
No, I said you shouldn't have to make the decision.
I should have the right to make it, whether or not I should be able to make it. Look, I know everybody's going like, protect the Korax who has little to no idea what's going on and hasn't been growing up with this her entire fucking life. I get that.
Yep.
But oh my god, you do not have to fucking mollycoddle me. What the hell?
It's not even that.
Okay, I would love
It kind of is that, but it's mostly not.
Yeah, because that's really what I'm hearing right now. What I'm hearing right now is the Korax can't handle it.
No.
Connor tunes out and goes back to talking to the doctor about drugs. It's like I was a part of this.
This is legitimately, I think, the first time that Crystal notices that the doctor is there.
No, your argument is with me.
This argument is with you. There's another argument brewing.
Yes, you have several arguments. I'm aware, but this time it's my turn.
I want to be perfectly fair here. This was mostly not about coddling you. It is a little bit about you are still new to this situation and you are still mostly human in your mindset. And I know when I was still mostly human in my mindset, the notion of killing someone who maybe was involved, maybe wasn't, there's a little bit of value. All right, let me put it this way. There is an alternative proposal being argued for his fate,
Still
which
being
is
argued, by the way.
insane to me.
As if on cue, the clearing fills with darkness as all of the lights in Callisto's cabin on the first floor go out. Or at least that's what it looks like.
The fuck?
And then you start seeing brief peaks of light.
The
as
fuck?
You start to realize those windows are covered in spiders.
Oh,
Seems like Mother Web is about to have to tell someone to sit the fuck down.
okay, fair enough.
That is...
You need to stop talking right now.
That's
He's
a lot of
allowed to be
spiders.
panicked when Mother Web decides to be scary.
Panic quietly.
I still haven't heard a good reason for you making that decision for me.
Because we have a lot going on right now. We did not have time to debate this issue.
No, you didn't have time to debate this issue. You made a unilateral decision, asked one of our menagerie members to be complicit in it. They actually listened.
Mm-hmm.
And
If you're
kept it
pissed,
up.
you can be pissed.
Oh, thank
I
you for
res-
allowing me to be pissed.
I
Thank you
respect.
so much. Thank you so much for giving me that permission to be pissed.
I'm saying I'm not giving you permission. I'm saying I understand why you're pissed, and I'm not. I don't expect you not to be pissed. You're going to feel however you feel. I don't give you permission to do that or not. I'm saying that I understand why you are.
Then why did you do it?
Because it needed to be done.
That's its own debate. But
Light fills the clearing again as those spiders begin descending the walls.
yeah, you remember how I put down a couple of your creations without that much effort?
Yes.
Everyone in that building is 3-4 times longer at this game than I am and way better at it than I am.
I gathered that the old Russian one, you don't live to be in your 80s to 90s without killing.
I only commanded the authority that I do because they're all in my house. And I've got something of a rapport with all of them.
He will look at Crystal and then close his mouth.
He can learn. If you want to talk medicine with Connor, that's fine. Just do it quietly.
He goes back to talking with Connor. About another 15 minutes pass, and the doors open. Doc opens it. If you all
What's up,
would
Doc?
kindly come back inside, please.
All right.
After you,
lead the doctor
Doc.
inside.
Yep, following.
There was a great many number of dissenting opinions.
I can only imagine. And my menagerie might have the most experience in the situation, but we're not the voice of all the Farah, so figured it'd be better for all the elders to hash it out than just us make a decision.
Some of us think so.
Dr. Bright, we're going to let you leave.
Any extra caveats on that we should know about?
And he now I as one foreigner to another, I just want to make sure that was live, correct? No, the word was leave. And he just stands up quietly and walks to the door. And as he opens the door, he steps outside, shuts the door, and 3 people start to move.
4.
Callisto sits down and waits.
As Cragspine, Dancing Cackle, One Wing, and Doom of the Mountain. Doom of the Mountain. And Crystal. I'll take.
Right.
Dancing Cackle gets to the door first. She rips it open, just barely getting the knob to turn enough to let the door move, and just kicks Dr. Bright in the back and says, "You better start running."
Cackle, you know for a fact he fucking can't.
So just smile and step out.
Connor sits down. Well, that's a shame. Picks up the doctor's phone and starts looking for the looking through the
As,
files.
yeah, as the execution takes place, Callisto looks over at Mother Webb. Well, I can tell who was immediately against, but what was the rest of the opinion like?
Your Barijan advocated for your side of things.
I wouldn't even call it my side. It was just an option I saw.
As long as, along with the tiger. I have a name. She just casts a look and then turns back to you.
Where do you stand on the situation?
I have seen the men like him come before and fall like him. They are no good. They provide false platitudes of progress, and it's simply another way to pervade Gaia's decency.
Fair enough. Like I said, I can't make that decision for everyone here.
And there's no guarantee that this man would not turn back to the life he chose. Thus,
Arwau was suggesting Overwatch. There's a lot of good progress that can be made with a genuine scientist working under supervision by Farah. But I'll be honest, as much as I gave that suggestion, I knew the number of different voices in this room. There was no way they were going to come to a consensus on anything other than killing him. Which is a bit of a disappointment to me personally, but it is what it is.
I am sorry that bloodshed had to come on your land. I know you tried to keep it peaceful here.
Well, you did me the service of at least letting him get out of my house first.
I would not want to ruin the furniture. You work hard for the things you have.
I appreciate that.
Now, it is getting late. I will take leave.
Are we not staying for a war council?
Right. This is the second part of the night. And she sits back down.
If you'd like, I can make you some tea or something stronger.
Coffee and vodka.
Done and done. I'll stand up and walk over to the kitchen.
Crystal, you have a lovely time with your fellow shifters hunting down and killing this man.
Yep. I cheat.
Okay.
I do blow his ankles off.
I mean, you're already taking one out.
No, that was his knee.
Yeah.
No, it's below the knee. You try to blow the calf through the
That's
calf.
right. I did try to blow the calf off. That's right. You can still limp like that.
And so as the sound of Dr. Bright's screams echo into the moonlit night, and the rest of the coalition of United Farah sits to go through war plans, that is where we will take our break. Remember, when we take our break, you take your break. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around a little bit, do whatever you need to do, and we will be back in just a few minutes after these commercial messages.
We are back.
We are back, and we return to the inside of Callisto's cabin, where the United Federation or Coalition of Farah. I keep fucking up my own acronym. United Coalition of Farah, and representatives from the Sept of the Towering Giant, along with our menagerie, are set to make battle plans on what to do with the Endron building
I was
and
about to
those
say.
inside.
When did we move into a Star Trek game?
Oh,
All right, now that everybody's had their fun and has some food and drink, the information that we got from the doctor's pretty relevant to trying to figure out what to do with the building. They've got about 50 guards, all armed with at least one magazine of silver, though only a handful of them will really have the wherewithal to know what they're doing in the face of delirium. That doesn't mean none of them will be at the point where they'll just go berserk, though. So,
Oh no, Silver.
yes, we know that you have no weaknesses. Congratulations, Nuisha.
I appreciate you acknowledging my perfection.
Dancing Cackle just elbows you in the side.
Big side eye from Carrie and says,
Now, if only the Nuisha were fighters instead of runners.
Just point at Connor.
Excuse me, I resemble that remark very well, thank you very much.
Okay, now if only
okay.
this Nuisha was a fighter instead of a runner.
by the way, Korax
Pointing at.
are allergic to silver either. Fun fact.
That's true.
In your case, gold.
I'm sorry. Which one of us has jumped out of a window shooting at a Fomori?
Running away from the monster.
Me. Yes, I know.
That's a prime example of running away from the monster, though.
No, that's a matter of fighting smart.
No, that's
Get
a
him
matter
angry,
Still
let
ran
him
from it.
fall.
that's a matter of gravity.
Yes.
Are you saying that the Guru wouldn't have just stood there and tried to fight it?
Yes.
You ran.
Uh-huh. Guess who's
Ale
alive
misery
and who wouldn't have
contests
been?
aside,
Okay, can we
battle
get-
plans
Can
need
we
to be
get
made.
off of Crystal's ego for just a second? I know it's so big it's taking up the whole room, but let's just shove it aside for a second and get on to important things.
Now then. Stay with the mountain.
Well-
This is you and your set specialty.
We walk in, we transform, we kill everyone, we leave. And detonate a few incendiary devices and explosives in the basement to take care of everything else.
And this being a Pentex associated company, what happens when the security cameras that certainly are not local only get transmitted
He roll me wits and empathy.
Okay.
Difficulty 6.
uh if 6 5 successes.
Doom of the Mountain is a lupus. Doom of the Mountain is a lupus that has spent the majority of his life in those woods. That man has no idea how cameras work.
We can't do that.
Yeah, the point being just walking in and making an attack will breach the veil instantaneously and let Pentex know who all was there.
In a potentially catastrophic way.
that would bring agents of the worm down here in droves. I see your side of things. I would like to hear other solutions.
Callisto leans forward. Mother Webb, how effective would you say that your children are at confounding the Weaver technology that is operating within camera systems?
Some of the greatest crawlerlings in the area are under my name. Sorry, that was a completely wrong accent. Most of the crawlerlings in the area are under mine. And they are good. Very good.
In that particular case, augmenting the werewolves' plan of walk in, murder everything with potentially the Ananasi ensuring that security systems remain moot during any kind of assault so that word does not get back to Pentex. Beyond that, there's more considerations to be made than just killing everything. Callisto debates whether it's time to make people fully aware of the matter.
Endron is a mining company. They most certainly have publicly is a mining company. They most certainly have devices, explosive things that people might assume if, and I'm not saying we go in there with big sticks of dynamite or the like, but if building go boom, humanity will assume it was an industrial accident. My thought is if we can somehow get the power grid for that block shut down, there go the cameras, there goes pretty much everything else.
They have their own power.
They have their own power generators.
If we can blow up their generators, which if we can get someone inside, we can probably blow up their generators. Or at the very least, do enough damage to the generators that they shut down.
Anybody in here experts at taking down generators?
I have a few glasswalkers in my cairn that are pretty much experts.
To say, if worst comes to worst, I look at Doom. If at worst comes to worst, tell some of your Aruns to pretend the generator is whatever Ragabash most recently insulted them.
That'll work.
Eventually, it'll go away.
There is a third consideration that I am certain will only start further argument within this group. However, I would be ignoring my duty to Gaia to not bring it up.
Are we mentioning the? Are we mentioning the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are an unknown number of kinfolk among Endron's staff.
And you didn't tell me?
I wonder why I didn't tell you, Doom of the Mountain.
We told, and correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm remembering this incorrectly, because we have told a number of people. We told people in your sept. If that information didn't get to you, maybe you should have better communication with your set.
Need to make a roll really quick.
If emojis can be sent over totem phone, like the rolling eyes emoji appears like 60 times.
We're not talking about us right now.
That will be dealt with later. Okay.
The important
The primary concern is getting the kinfolk out.
as many as can be salvaged. I will note, for those who are unaware, the Fomorian currently carrying the alias of Dmitry Karlov is a former kinfolk.
There's a
Person is no
number.
longer salvageable, considering they're being ridden by a Bane.
They're a fucking Fomori at this point.
That's unlikely to be the case for every other kinfolk currently in Endron's employ.
No, but a number of them, even if they're not fully Fomori. Look, that's on y'all. Y'all are gonna have to deal with that problem and handle it as you see fit.
Every group of Farah has their own rites of cleansing. Pray that
Yes.
yours are as effective as they ought to be.
Yep. It's since we're putting all of our cards on the table. We're putting all of our cards on the table, right?
I mean, at this point,
Dmitry Karlov is Jared Walker.
To make some rolls really quick. Okay, there is recognition on a number of faces, and murmurs start going. The 4 members of the Sept of the Towering Giants are all just like staring daggers at Doom right now.
Well, that'll be fun.
we
There's
do
also-
not know the identities of every kinfolk within Endron's employ. We simply know that there are likely more than just him.
Because we already know that there were some other more.
Yeah, we know that others were being pursued by Endron. We weren't able to
Correct.
follow all those leads to completion, but we know there are more.
Well, and we got one out, didn't we?
Yeah.
The Jared Walker, Aaron, what's his name?
Yeah, he's
Partes.
currently
Yeah.
he's currently been released to a different Sept for cleansing.
Correct. So
There's also
one is a
the-
coincidence, 2 is a conspiracy in this case, as far as I'm concerned.
Connor, you were going to say?
there's also the other facility. The other Pentech scientist. I can't think of think of
Aaron.
him. Yeah, Aaron
Carver.
Carver.
Yep.
So it's not only Endron that we have to deal with, it's also that.
Yeah, that's tomorrow's problem. We can't take out Endron and a full-on Pentex facility. Certainly not in the same day.
So we have the
No.
location of Aaron Carver's home. For
We do?
future assault. Yeah, that was one of the things we got out of the doctor after you left.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not a Pentex facility. It's the
It's her mansion.
Aaron. It's which is
Glad I shot him in the shin and not the head.
taking care of this Aaron Carver would certainly help things along.
Though I will posit, there's a concern that whether or not we make the Pentex building look like an accident, Aaron Carver will know what just happened and will probably go to ground.
What do we know about Aaron Carver's place? Do we know security
The mansion with a
detail?
full security detail.
Do we know what kind of security detail?
Pentex thugs armed with silver.
But just thugs, right? Not
Or, far as the doctor knew, just thugs.
not black spiral dancers is what I'm saying.
As far as the doctor was aware, yes.
That's not a problem.
What I am saying is we can't be certain that was the case.
We can't be certain, no.
But it's something to go on.
Here's I have a
It's
suggestion.
more than nothing.
There's a lot of people. There are a lot of cooks in this particular kitchen right now. And each of the cooks has staff of varying numbers. How about the council? The council, the sept, etc. You guys deal with the big bad Entron building. We handle Aaron Carver.
Question becomes: are we waiting? Are we doing this all at once?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think if we're going to make this kind of strike, it ought to be simultaneous.
If we wait, then there's always the chance of escape.
Yeah.
We have
Not even
Probably-
escape. There's a chance of them getting any information about it and using it.
with Dr. Bright being gone, Thomas will say, we've probably got a 48-hour window at if that.
Mm-hmm.
We've got maybe 24 hours to pull this off before they figure out that we've got the upper hand.
By the way, if you guys need more information, there's a laptop over there that might have it.
One of the werewolves just sort of sidles over to that and sits down.
Frost Mage.
Yep.
Yep, I thought so. In any case, we've got maybe 24 hours before they figure out Dr. Bright. We will have maybe 30 minutes on either attack before the other location learns about it.
Yes. So we need to synchronize and we need to establish communication.
Right.
One Wing says, I have about 30 walkie-talkies prepared for this.
I'm a courier.
I'm a pack rat.
I'm a
Um,
bitch.
We know.
And we love you for it, says Dancing Cackle.
Thank you.
Chorizo.
I have a number of individuals that I can use to possibly create a diversion if needed.
Who's creating a diversion?
The
No,
new
it's Dancing
Ishas.
Cackle, the new Isha.
Oh, of course.
Diversion for which part?
That would probably be best with the Endron building.
So what are you thinking,
Keep
flash
response
mob?
time for actual authorities minimized.
I'm not sure. I feel like I could get a number of people in town before tomorrow and figure out something fun.
Whatever it is, it'll be hilarious.
Korax heading out communication between the two fronts.
Mm-hmm.
Guru handling the primary assault on Endron. Ananasi handling ensuring security measures are disabled.
I can give you 6 of my children for this. We'll only have to wait on one.
I'm gonna go over Totem Speak really quick. Have we told the rest of the council about the big monster in the lake? Because if we haven't, they need to know about the big monster in the
Yes.
lake.
I believe. Yeah, because that was we learned about that before Callisto had her debrief with Doc. So yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I'm pretty sure that if we hadn't told them, Doom certainly wouldn't have. So as long as they know, cool.
I'm gonna up security on Pyramid Lake. I'm gonna triple.
Yeah, the last thing we need is something slipping through and letting Hellbreaker out while we're doing this.
You see him just sort of tilt his head and look to the side. That's getting handled.
I'm with Xanthine. He said he was upping security before, and we know how that went. So, diff.
6.
Okay. Wow, 1 success.
So he's in a room full of 13 other people that'll keep his ass accountable. Well, 17 other people that'll keep his ass accountable. 21. The number keeps going up. Anyway,
A lot of people.
a lot of people. And on top of that like pause and confirmation, that was totem speak.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Question. How many other Farah are on this council? I don't think we have all of them. We covered Ananasi. I know there's still Bastet and Makole that haven't quite contributed anything at the moment.
The Ajaba and the Kitsune are also involved.
Okay. We don't have Naga or Ratkin or Rokea.
None presently in the council.
Okay.
Not for lack of trying.
Yeah.
I can offer several different Bastet warriors. They're most of there's my pack and or whatever the term is for the Bastet groups.
A litter?
I think it depends on the type of Bastet because like the lion ones are more likely to call it a pride.
Pride, yeah. I have a number of I have a few Khans and a few Bubasti that I can call and maybe a Simba. We can help fuck some shit up.
I think if I'm being honest, the speed of the Bastet being as unmatched as it is will best be served at harrying the outside perimeters and making sure that no one ever escapes from either side.
We can do that.
So Bastet on perimeter, Anansi on the security systems.
Cragspine puts his arms on the back of the couch and leans forward. So I can get me and 2 other boys over there and we can take care of the sewers.
Very good point. Underground escapes are going to be relevant, and there's the underground lab under the Endron building that needs to be taken care of.
We can take out some generators while we're down there too.
Yeah.
So we've got
The underground approach handled by the Makole.
We've got Makole underground. We've got Bastet on the perimeter. We've got Nuisha on distraction duty. We've got Anansi on the security system. We've got several different groups on generator damage. We've got Corax on communication between the 2 locales. Who am I missing?
That leaves the Ajaba.
I don't see what we can add here. I mean, all the bases seem to be covered.
Anybody have any connections to like news sources or media?
I was about to
Tell you what, I have a few contacts in law enforcement. How about I have some scrambles go out and disrupt their communication, throw them all over the place, keep them away from the Endron building at all costs.
The Ajaba handling the mundane response, I think, is the last corner that we haven't covered.
Okay. And the menagerie has the Carver house.
Which just leaves us, a number of Endron guards, and one crazy fucking psychopath.
Yeah,
I,
it should be a pretty easy
I like
night.
our odds.
You see Demon of the Mountain look past your group to the four security
Actually,
wolves.
there's one more roll. If I could ask, the Kitsune, as one of the more spiritual among us, if you could keep an eye on the Umbra during this time and make sure that we don't get any surprises.
Oh, we absolutely can do that. I have a number of contacts in the city. You'd be surprised there are more of us here than you think.
I appreciate that. There are fewer of us here than you think.
Oh, I know it's just docking you.
You'll note
So you'll
you'll note I didn't mention what the Girl can contribute because it's just us.
And you're contributing everything you have. Doom will look past your group to the security wolves that he brought, who are just sort of like off in their own little corner of the room, just doing nothing because they're obviously not needed. But you see Thunder and Blossoming Dancer both snap to attention. As many as you need of my Cairn members. Let's keep it to 6. If you even want to take anyone. I know this might be an operation that benefits mostly from stealth and not from outright fury.
I think one particularly aggressive guru in the back line for when things go south might be useful. Thunder, if you'd like to come along.
I would love to come along.
I'm the only combat specialist in the menagerie, and I would like to not be the only person here. I did say specialist.
I am very special.
Yes, you are.
Well, I believe that about ties up everything then, says Doc.
Sounds about right.
Okay.
I don't think we've got everything. We talked about a time frame. We need to know when this is going down.
Yeah, we need to get this properly synced up. If we are even a few minutes out of beat with each other, that's going to go badly.
Well, would we benefit more from a nighttime or a daytime? Nighttime.
Nighttime raid.
Nighttime is the right time.
Nighttime works for me.
Okay. Think we won't need as much of a... Oh, that is the problem with going after Endron at night. Most of the employees will be gone.
I don't like that you're right.
So daytime?
What if we do it right at the start of shift?
So in the morning?
Like 9:15, 9:30, right after everyone's gotten into the building.
Okay.
It's
Follow-up question.
there's not enough public awareness that early in the day.
Everyone's too busy focusing on getting started for their own shifts, their own jobs, yes.
Oh, that leaves the question 9:15 tomorrow or 9:15
day after.
day after.
The morning time is the storming time.
We're gonna need probably a day to get a hold of everybody, because if we're gonna go at dawn, if we're going at 9:30, that's like 6.5 hours from now.
Yeah, we're not gonna have to make this tomorrow. just to give time to prepare and gather forces. Follow-up question: of those storming the Endron building, how many will be able to send kinfolk of the various breeds?
I think most of my warriors should be able to suss that out.
Be able to find.
I'll make sure I'll set up my battle plan is to thin our numbers and send them through all the floors. So I'll make sure groups all have at least one individual who can sniff out kinfolk.
As a reminder, it's no use winning this battle if we cripple the war effort.
If this has potential to be catastrophic on both sides.
Yep.
What all are we directly destroying in that building? Like, is there anything that's being?
They have a number of drills designed for digging up Pyramid Lake with silver and gold headed tips. Those need to be demolished. There is an experimentation lab underneath the building that has been used for their creation of mockery creatures, the things that you and I saw us fight, those war wolves and things like them. Those need to be demolished, and everything inside needs to die.
The lab needs to be. I don't think we have the ability to atomize anything, but if you can atomize it,
Oh,
the whole lab.
We don't need to. I have a set of 10 super magnets. Wipe out anything down there.
That's fair. I'm talking about genetic material.
Oh yeah, no, we burn that to the ground.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Atomize it if you can. I doubt you can. Not a lot of things can atomize something.
And
Well,
then
fun fact, if you just add random chemicals to shit, you can ruin stuff pretty easily.
yeah,
Frost Mage gives a thumbs up to the pharmacist in the room.
Endron security needs to be dealt with. Reminder for all Guru going in: all of them are packing silver. Most of them will panic. Some of them will panic and start shooting.
Okay. That sounds like a fantastic plan. So 9:30 tomorrow.
Yeah, because it's past midnight. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think we have anything else to discuss, Mother Webb. She has been quiet through most of this. I believe this is the final test. The one that will ultimately prove if the Farah and the Garu can heal old wounds and work together again. Perhaps we can be the start of something. And if not, you wolves can continue to fuck yourselves in your own dens. She stands up and without another word leaves.
I give us 30-70.
I've had worse odds.
Yeah, no, that was my positive assessment. If you'd asked me a few days ago, 1090 would have been optimistic.
The rest of the Elder Council begins to file out one by one.
Carrie is gonna, when she sees one wing leave, she's gonna meet him on the porch.
He's He currently buttoning up his jacket when he gets out there with his.
I hate to be a broken record. And I know it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
He pulls out a cigarette. You got a light?
That's down.
He holds the cigarette out to you, takes the lighter, lights the cigarette, takes that back from you. So I heard everybody else's plans in there. What are you doing tomorrow?
What do you mean? What am I doing tomorrow? I'm a messenger. No. I mean, in like 8 hours when you wake up tomorrow. It's not tomorrow till you wake up. Yeah, no, I gathered. What I want to do is punch the ever living shit out of Carrie, out of Crystal. Don't even know my own name.
I was gonna say, you're not that bad. Don't punch yourself.
How would you like to instead meet Mouse Hunter?
Excuse me?
He's arriving in the city in like 6 hours.
I mean, yeah, I would. I think that's an understatement.
Okay.
I would like that. Yes. I don't have the words right now, but yes, I want that to happen.
Hey, we help each other. We take care of our own.
Yeah, I need some of that.
That's what you've got a menagerie for, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is everything not great in paradise?
Even the best families have their secrets.
You're not wrong.
Even the best families have their squabbles, but I mean, I was raised in a house with 2 other Latina women. Like, are you going to tell me that there wasn't, some throwing hairbrushes in that house?
Oh no, somebody was screaming every day. At least.
I just need to make myself heard.
Absolutely. What were they not listening to you on?
See, it was done out of good intentions, but road to hell and all that. They were trying to preserve my humanity by going after a loose end. And didn't get, basically, to protect me in my humanity, they decided to not tell me what was going on until after it happened.
They killed someone without you knowing.
Yeah.
That's I can understand where the intention came from, but that you also can't keep they also can't keep treating you like you're made of glass, kiddo.
That's what I keep telling them. I know I'm new. I know I'm inexperienced. I know I don't have a lot of answers. I know, believe me, I know every disadvantage I have being here. But that doesn't give anybody the right to make my decisions for me.
Just because you're new doesn't mean you're discounted. Your voice should count. I'd talk to your menagerie if I were you.
Oh, there's been talking. We just had to put a. I had to take the goddamn high road
It's
Because
never
there's-
fun.
because there's this whole catastrophic event that's happening, and
It really does put a damper on things, doesn't it?
yeah, it does.
He flicks his cigarette. But well, I'm gonna go pass out for a few hours and then try and bring myself back from the dead with like 32 ounces of espresso.
Good luck with that.
Message me when you wake up
If
I'll
I
get- if you go to sleep. I will get with Mouse Hunter and we will set up a meeting and we'll have it in the afternoon.
You're not gonna leave me by my lonesome, are you?
Do you want to go on with me tonight?
No, God, no, shit, no, fuck, no. I'm how about the meeting?
I meant as a place to sleep, jackass. No, not. I appreciate that, but you're not my type.
No, I need to work this out. I'm just talking about the meeting. Am I meeting Mouse Hunter alone, or you?
Oh no, I'll go with you.
That's what I was talking about. No, as bad an idea as it is to argue at 4 a.m. in the morning, I need to. I need
You need to
get
be
this
heard.
worked out.
He'll pat you on the arm. Good luck. He'll
Thanks.
shift into his raven form and fly off.
Callisto wanted to catch Doc before he took off.
Okay. Yeah, you can grab him on his way out.
So how'd we do?
Your methods are a little unconventional.
Did you have any doubt?
Oh no, I knew the moment Anuisha was involved with this group, it wouldn't be formulaic to say the least. Very interesting technique using your menagerie mate as a lie detector.
What are you good at?
And, I feel like a lot of you have very big hearts. A lot of you are very, very traumatized individuals.
Can you
Which
name a
comes
single
with the
fairy who
territory.
isn't? Yeah.
I think you all did as good as you could in this scenario. This was huge, Callisto. Like, this was huge. This whole thing has been monumental. If Endron was allowed to continue without being unchecked like this, Hellbreaker would be loose by now.
If only we could get everyone else to see things from that perspective.
Well, you've definitely lit a fire under Mother Webb's ass. because she's already part of the reason it took so long to reach a consensus is the fact that we don't have everyone represented and we can't make decisions on behalf of other shifters. So we are actively going out of our way to recruit members of the fair that are not represented on the coalition.
Yeah, I noticed there was a point where I feel like Mother Web had to make a show of things to get people to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I would never want to be in the room with that again. That was rough. Ugh. No, I think some of the individuals who voted to kill Dr. Bright were hesitant. You're changing minds.
If I can get anybody to start thinking forward, it'll be a good accomplishment instead of looking back all the time.
This goes off without a hitch tomorrow, then I think you've done more than your fair share to heal the relations between Garou and Farah. If you want to continue that after, I'll back you up the entire way. You're gonna get a lot of pushback.
Yeah, but as it turns out, I think I got a friend on the inside now.
You do.
I mean, from the unlikeliest of places, you know. Guru, who suffers the same affliction as you, trying to kill you, ends up being your closest friend in that entire group.
That is an interesting turn of events. I'm gonna guess the short black-haired one with the bob.
There's a reason I asked her to come along on the house hunt.
I don't know what the rules of that are.
I mean, that aside, I don't think anything can happen in that regard, considering multiple different factors. But aside from that, she's great. That's a long way down the road. Other point being, I don't think there's another guru I really trust to have my back in a combat situation.
And you're sure she's not going to turn around and turn code on you?
I think she's too proud for that. She knows that last time we had a straight up fight, I took her shoulders out of socket. And if she tried to get a backstab on me in the middle of a fight against the worm, she'd never live it down. The idea that she could only beat me by getting the drop on me while I was actively busy with a greater enemy, that would chew her up.
It would definitely not be an honorable way to fight. No, I think you made the right decision. And good luck to your team. I feel like you're going to need it.
Yeah, we're walking into the biggest unknown.
Then make it known.
That's the plan.
How about you during today? You guys scout out the premises.
Probably a good idea. We've been inside the Endron building twice now. Never even laid eyes on Carver's compound before.
You are going into the biggest variable. But from everything I've seen, if anybody's going to be able to get it done, it's going to be your menagerie.
Thanks for the pep talk, Doc. All right.
I'll pat you on the shoulder. Things could be worse. Then he just leaves. And Doc is the last of the Farah to leave. All of the wolves have gone as well, leaving Callisto's home free from everybody except for Ringtail and your lot. And I think Carrie wants to have a conversation.
Yeah.
All right.
Pour a
you know what?
drink,
We
go
got
and
work
sit
to do in the
down.
morning. So last business now. Arguments that need to happen.
Harry's going to breathe in. Harry's going to breathe out. Without any interruption, I would like to say that I feel hurt. I feel hurt is the biggest one. I feel like we were put together. We've been through a lot. We've had each other's back in literal life or death situations. And I do not appreciate, however well intentioned it was, I do not appreciate being kept out of the loop. I believe that was wholly unnecessary. And I feel in playing to my humanity and playing to my inexperience is a shitty move. I know I don't have as much experience. I know that as far as Children of Gaia go, I'm very new to this. But I also know that I was not brought here by accident. I was not brought here by mistake. I was brought here for a purpose. Just like anybody else in this menagerie, and I deserve the honesty that comes along with it. We're about to go into the latest life or death situation. And I need to know, especially as I'm on communication, I need to know everything. I don't need to be kept in the dark. And I would hope that you trust me enough and trust my judgment to not just, no pun intended, fly off the handle. I feel like you don't trust me. And I feel like I'm being given the child's safety scissors because I can't handle anything more. I literally, lest you forget, I literally learned how to walk again. I literally went through my formative years as a child of Gaia with no guidance whatsoever, and I fucking survived. Because let me tell you something. At least you all had somebody. I had nobody. And all of a sudden, not only did I have to learn how to walk again, but now I could fucking fly? So I need to know. So I need to make it known, first of all. That I am not just some naive, ditzy woman who dresses well. I am an expert, not only in my field, but I am an expert on human emotion, on psychology, on social interaction, communication, and fucking figuring things out without the answers in the back of the book. So, yes, maybe I am new to being a child of Gaia. Okay. Maybe I am more human. Okay. But none of those things are a weakness because I am a goddamn strong creature, no matter how you slice it. Or does anybody else want to tell me how you went through your first transformation with somebody there and how difficult it was and you knew what was going on? Anybody want to talk about that?
Are you done? And I'm not trying to bait you into anything. Are you done? Because you said you want to get everything out. I'm giving you the chance to get everything out.
Basically, if I am not given the respect that I believe I deserve, I will go through this one last mission because this is bigger than this is for the greater good. And I don't know if any of you value having a relationship with me beyond this menagerie, but I am prepared to walk away if I am not respected. And nothing you can say will persuade me. So, by all means, please appeal to my humanity.
I'm going to say some things. Some of this is probably going to piss you off. It's just gonna. I'm not saying it to be a bitch. I am not saying it to I'm not saying it to hit back. But I need to start off with one thing. You just put a lot of words in my mouth that I think that you are projecting. No one here has ever said you are a ditzy girl who only looks good in a dress or anything like that. if certainly nobody has said that you are not capable. I am extremely, how to put this? I should say I don't I don't apologize for killing.
I'm not asking you to.
Should I have said something? Maybe. I'm not I'm willing to concede a maybe there. We're in the middle of a meeting we're in the middle of a meeting to deal with all of this shit. I had to make a judgment call on the fly. I was angry. And I decided I did not want to take the very small risk that this might cause an argument. Did I think it was likely? No. Did I think there was a very, very, very small chance? Yes.
Well,
I
good.
wasn't willing to
Not
take that
possible.
chance. If you don't think I respect you, you're wrong. I have nothing but respect. I did what I wished somebody had done for me at some point. I don't consider your humanity or any potential reticence as a weakness. I consider it a strength. And all of us who are willing to make that we're willing to make that decision to go out and kill the doctor. It's a decision that needed to be made. But I don't consider that a strength on our part. I'm not hmm, I'm not going to this is the most trolly sounding bullshit ever. And you're probably going to get pissed at the way that I'm going to put it, but it is honestly the how I feel. I am sorry that you are upset. I am not sorry that I made the decision I did because it was the best one that I could make at that time. And it has nothing to do with whether I respect you or not. It had to do with the fact that I have to make these kinds of decisions sometimes. That's what I apologize for. I apologize for the fact that I treated you like the wolves for a moment. That was bullshit of me. But I'm be honest, if there had been a decision made to that Dr. Bright gets to live, that would have been a short reprieve. There's some things that I just feel like need to be done right or wrong. And maybe it's because Coyote has little too strong me, and we're too used to having to be the people that get hated because we pull the funny pranks. We get used to making decisions unilaterally that are gonna piss people off.
You almost sound proud of that.
No. I don't like doing it. I don't like making people angry
And why do it?
because somebody has to.
You're part of a group. You're not unilateral.
I am getting used to that, is what I was trying to get to. Again, I treated you like I treat the wolves, and that I regret and shouldn't have done.
You're right.
I can't promise I'm not going to do it again because that's just my instincts. I'll try not to do it again.
That's more than fair.
But I'm also going to be honest here, and I don't react well to you behave this way or I leave you. That is a manipulative bullshit thing that I do to people. Not people I like or respect either. So
Excuse me for saying I was not trying to be manipulative. I was
I
just
understand you
asking
weren't.
for respect.
I understand you weren't trying to be. Just like I wasn't trying to disrespect you when I made that decision. I still did, and you still were. So we both need to be better. Fair?
Fair.
All right.
For what it's worth, I do apologize for any hand I had in that.
Yeah, I shouldn't have told you. That put you in a bad spot. I should have just gone off and done my own fucking thing.
It was no matter what decision I make, I was going to be betraying one of my two
Yeah.
menagerie mates' trust.
That was not nice of me. I thought I was trying to be nice by being like, "Oh, I will tell my people where I am going, so if something bad happens to me, then they know to pick up on the situation." That's smart teamwork thinking. But next time I just won't tell anybody. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
For what it's worth, my assessment of the situation was either I don't tell you and this fight will happen regardless, or I do tell you and this fight will still happen because at that point there was no way you were going to catch her before she did that. And it probably interrupts what the work we were doing at the moment. And then I also have to deal with the fact that I didn't uphold Crystal's request as well.
I will say, by the way, if I didn't respect everybody here, I would have not told anybody where I went. I wouldn't have gone at that particular moment. I would have waited until a good moment when I had a chance to slip away, like I don't know now when we're all in chill mode. Would have gone there anyways. Just made sure he vanished and was never seen again, and never would have said anything about it. Because that's what I would have do. That's what I would do if it was a situation with the wolves. So I'm just saying, that's a sign of my respect.
And I'm just saying I can see it from your point of view. However, I get kind of touchy when people take away my decisions from me.
That's fair. That is absolutely fair. You get touchy at that. I get there's plenty of shit that I get touchy at.
I know.
And I'm just I look, I know you had it really, really rough to start. And I think you have done spectacularly. Not caveat, not spectacularly given the situation. You have done spectacularly. End of story.
Well, in
We've
about
all had, I'm sure, there are some people who have good, happy, they grew up in this in family and they knew everything to start, and all of their family is still alive, and I don't know. I assume there's some kind of unicorn guru out there that's like that. Oh, by the way, I promise I am not trying to put you down for not knowing something. This makes complete sense. We've got to stop calling all of us the children of Gaia. Because
It's a
at
specific
some
tribe of
point
werewolves.
we're going to say that in a sept, and people are going to assume that we're pretending to be the children of Gaia, which is a tribe.
It's a tribe of werewolves.
Yeah. Again, you didn't know. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's an apt descriptor that they decided to take one group of werewolves to all be known as the children of Gaia for some goddamn reason.
Because they're the fucking wolves. And everything revolves around them.
well,
Anyways,
But this
that's
time,
not
this
the
time everything revolves around you guys, though.
Don't say that. We'll start thinking we're important.
well, and about she looks at her watch. About 6 hours, I'm going to get some answers.
You want to back up for that?
Sorry, what?
One Wing is bringing a mouse hunter into town.
Oh shit. Cool.
And I'm going to get some answers. And I asked him, he told me to get some sleep. I said, you just dropped this bomb on me and you expect me to go to sleep now.
I can drug you.
I can do
No.
that too.
No.
I got some good sedatives.
from neither one of you.
Silently from nowhere, Clover's hand just pops up with a bag full of gummy bears.
No.
And that is where we will end for the week. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.